Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Deer Lodge once again. The second game of our doubleheader between the Powell County Lady Wardens taking on your Bigfork Valkyries. We'll get you the starting lineups here momentarily, a few minutes before tip-off. Powell County with the overall 2-4 record, 0-2 in conference. They lost to Whitehall and Loyola Sacred Heart, just like our and Anaconda. Like opponents, Bigfork beat Anaconda and lost to Lincoln County, but Powell County was able to beat Lincoln County 39-24. So 2-4 for Powell County Lady Wardens on the season. And the Valkyries are also 2-4. Make that 3-4 as they beat Troy on Friday night. So 7 games in, the Valkyries are 3-4. Looking for a bounce back for Bigfork as the Valkyries without Jordan Nelson, who's out sick, I understand. So we'll miss Jordan tonight for the Valkyries. Let's get your starting lineups. First of all, for Powell County, it'll be number 2, Jordan Senecal, 5'2" senior. Alyssa Lamb, a 5'6" senior. Rachel Nicholson, number 12, 5'5" junior. Riley Gray is a senior, 5'5". Number 14, number 40 is Cameron Scully, a 5'4" senior for head coach Henry Hubert. This is by Bob Schulk and Savannah Schulk for Powell County. That is your starting lineups for them tonight. Senecal, you've heard that name before. Same with Scully and Nicholson. They've played quite a bit here in Deer Lodge. For the Valkyries tonight, starting, it'll be Meredith Bedford, number 10, a 5'7" guard forward junior. The freshman at guard and forward, 5'8", number 11, Emma Barrett. Number 12 is a 5'3" guard senior, Heidi Scheller. That 5'8" forward and center junior, number 24, Ansley Edgerton. And number 40, 5'6" forward and center junior, Ashton McAnally for head coach Jamie Grindy. This is by Courtney Gudlock, Jim Blow, Jason Grindy, and Randy Couture. James LaFontaine with you from Deer Lodge High School. Excuse me, as Powell County and the Valkyries will battle it out here in a non-conference Class B matchup. Our sponsors, Harvest Food, Bigfork Scoreboard, Gizmiz Paint and Renovate as well, sponsoring this doubleheader from Deer Lodge. And then the UPS store, Brad Scottshill and gang down there at the UPS store for your printing and shipping needs. You want to contact Brad Scottshill. We'll be getting underway momentarily with the introductions by the PA announcer and the tip-off of this ball game from Deer Lodge, Montana. James LaFontaine, 406-270-7384. Let me know if you're catching this ball game and listening. We'll be back momentarily with a tip-off from Deer Lodge, Montana. All right, welcome back to Deer Lodge High School. The matchup between the Bigfork Valkyries and the Powell County Lady Wardens, both 2-4 on the season. So Bedford, Bigfork in their light powder blues and white with the white numbers and white lettering. Emma Barrett, the freshman. Schneller, the senior. Ansley Edgerton, number 24. That's key tonight if she's hitting for the Valkyries. Ashton McAnally, forced to be reckoned with. As well for Jamie Grundy and the Valkyries tonight and Powell County. Alyssa Lamb, a senior. To change things up because they got Jessie Gravely at 5'9", a senior starting tonight. Rachel Nicholson, also a junior. Riley Gray at 5'5", senior. Cameron Scully, a 5'4" senior for Powell County. The list I had Jordan Senecal. Maybe I read that incorrectly, and that could happen. We'll see what that shows when I look back at this. I was wrong. Lamb, Gravely, okay. I'll admit I am tip-off here between Gravely and Ansley Edgerton. Tip. Heidi Schneller comes up with the backcourt, but Valkyries heading right to left. Over to McAnally on the right side, back to the top of the key to Schneller. Schneller over to Bedford. Out to Ansley Edgerton at the top of the key. Ashton McAnally right side. Meredith Bedford with the basketball at the top for Bigfork. Feeds over to McAnally. Movement underneath. McAnally feeds it over to Edgerton. Edgerton, top of the key. Looks for Emma Barrett. Emma Barrett looking. Drive, gets it over to Bedford on the right side. Out to Schneller. Schneller at the top, calling out a play. And dribbling through it, throws it off the backboard. And good. High off the backboard as she's going down the right side. And 2 points for Heidi Schneller. 2-0 on your Harvest Food scoreboard with 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Nicholson. Over to Scully. Scully feeds it out top of the key to Riley Gray. 3-point shot, no good. Edgerton, loose ball came up by Bedford. Bedford seed out to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive. Out to Barrett. Bedford at the top of the key. Bedford over to McAnally. McAnally feeds it to the corner. Heidi Schneller on the left side looking to drive. Feeds it to McAnally. McAnally backs it in. Swats it away. And out of bounds off of Powell County. It'll be Bigfork basketball. Schneller to inbound. Finds Edgerton inside the free throw line. Jumper is good. 4-0 Valkyries. And Gray will inbound. To Nicholson, back to Gray. Scully on the left side. Down in the corner for Gravely. Gravely back out to Scully on the right side. Back over the left side. Scully on the way. Shot up and good little jumper by Scully. And 4-2 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Inbound to Bedford. Bedford up to Edgerton. Edgerton on the right side. Throws it out the top to Schneller. Schneller at the top of the key. Calling out the play for Bigfork. Heidi Schneller spin move in the key. Drives it all the way to the basket. She's going to get fouled. And she's going to head to the free throw line for the Valkyries. First team foul on Powell County, and the first foul on number 4, Jessie Gravely, as Heidi Schneller goes to the line. She'll get 2 shots for Bigfork with 5:50 to go in the first quarter. First shot in and out. no good by Schneller. Schneller will get one more for Bigfork. Second shot off the back of the rim and no good. McAnally pokes it away and nearly stolen there by Schneller. Feeds it up to Nicholson. Nicholson to Gray. Gray, top of the key for Powell County. Over to Nicholson. Back to Gray. Over to Lamb. Lamb on the baseline. Feeds it out to Lamb. Over to Gravely. Rachel Nicholson. Shot up by Lamb is no good. Rebounded by Emma Barrett. And a foul will be called on Powell County. And that'll be number 3, it looks like. Alyssa Lamb, a second team foul. Inbound to Schneller. Schneller trapped in the corner. Feeds it over to Barrett. Knocked away by Gravely. Gravely comes up with it. Feeds it up to Nicholson. Nicholson out to Riley Gray. Gravely on the baseline with the basketball out to Lamb. Scully, excuse me. Over to Nicholson. Nicholson far side to Gray. Gray, top of the key to Nicholson. Over to Scully. Scully on the right side, guarded by McAnally. Top of the key, Nicholson has the basketball. Back to Gray. Overshoots it, and Edgerton steals the basketball. Out to Bedford. Bedford picked up there immediately. Gives it up to Schneller. Schneller across the timeline, top of the key for the Valkyries. 4:30 and counting here in the first quarter. Out to McAnally on the drive, underneath Edgerton. Edgerton's shot, short and no good, boxed out there by Gravely. And shot no good, 4-2. Scully's shot on the way, jumper for the right side is good. We're tied at 4. Into Bedford, Ansley Edgerton up the right side. Over dribbled it and taken away by Gravely. Gravely gives it out to Gray. Gray is going to be called for the travel as she passed it off to Nicholson. It'll be Bigfork basketball as Isabella Santa Stephen comes in the ball game for Bigfork. And up to Barrett. And a foul is going to be called. Number 2, Jordan Senecal in for Powell County, along with number 21, Maya Worth. And the foul is on number 12, Rachel Nicholson. Emma Barrett inbound. Isabel Santa Stephen on the left side, in the left wing. Looking to drive. Feeds it to Edgerton. Edgerton in the free throw. Throws it up off the back, the rim, and no good. And they get a Heidi Schneller with a push. Yeah, it'll be her first. And the first team foul on Bigfork. Riley Gray with the basketball across the timeline. Over to Senecal. Senecal up to Worth. Worth knocked away and stolen by McAnally. McAnally feeds it up to Isabel Santa Stevens. Santa Stevens dribbles it out. Gives it up to McAnally, top of the key. 2 Valkyries in the same area. McAnally over to Heidi Schneller. Feeds it underneath Edgerton off the backboard. And no good. Shot it just a bit hard, but she's fouled in a play. We'll go to the line and get 2 shots. 3:08 to go here in the first quarter. We're tied at 4 on your Harvest Foods Big Fork scoreboard. Edgerton, at the line, shooting 2 for the Valkyries. First shot up is good, as Bedford will return for Bigfork, replacing McAnally. And number 3, Alyssa Lamb will come back in the ball game, replacing Gravely for Powell County. Second shot on the way by Edgerton. Up and off the rim, no good. Rebounded there by Worth. Worth gives it over to Gray. Gray will bring it across the timeline to the top of the key. Feeds it over to Senecal. Senecal in the corner to Scully. Scully knocked away by Bedford, out of bounds. It'll remain Powell County basketball. Scully looking to inbound. Far side. Going to throw it away all the way across. intended there for Lamb and throws it out of bounds. Bigfork basketball. Isabel Santa Steve will take it out. Passes into Schneller. Schneller over to the right side. Looking for Barrett in the corner. Barrett looking to drive. Nearly turns it over. Grabs it, feeds it over to Bedford. Bedford on the drive, left side. Throws it up, and his foul will get 2 shots. She drives in on Lamb and Cynical. And the foul, is the 15th foul on the Lady Wardens. And it's on Alyssa Lamb, her first. Bedford to the line, shooting 2. First shot is up and good. 6-4, the Valkyries lead with 2:43 to go here in the first quarter on the Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. One more for Bedford. Shot up, good. Nothing at the bottom of the net. 7-4, Valkyries lead into Cynical. Back to Gray for Powell County. Top of the key, feeds it over to Cynical, right side on the right wing. Down in the corner to Scully. Scully looking to dribble. Nearly stole by Bedford. In the far corner, Cynical. They get trapped by Bedford and Nicholson, or excuse me, Edgerton. And Heidi Schneller comes over, but Powell County will have to take a timeout and then take a full timeout. And we'll be back here as the Valkyries lead 7-4 with 2:21 to go here in the first quarter from your on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. 406-270-7384. Text me, let me know you're listening to this ball game on the Valkyrie Broadcasting Network, BFSD events on YouTube. Be back momentarily. Well, welcome back to Deer Lodge High School. Valkyries lead the Lady Wardens 7-4 on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard here in the first quarter. Inbound. Scully with the basketball, look at the drive. Throws it out. Cynical with a 3-point shot on the way off the rim and no good. And Bedford has rebounding position. And Meredith Bedford had position and gets called for the foul on the box out. Her first and second team foul. The Lady Wardens will get it underneath. Inbound, nearly stolen by Bedford. Out of bounds. Off of Heidi Schneller. She tries to steal away from Worth. Powell County will get it on the sideline. Excuse me, on the near side. And Lamb will take it out for Powell County. Inbounded to Worth. Worth. Top of the key. 2-3 zone by Bigfork. Over to Gray. Gray dribbles to the left side. Over to Cynical. Cynical looking to drive. Stops. Gives it over to Worth. And then shot by Scully. 3-point shot off the rim and no good. Powell County comes up with a rebound. Does Worth. Over the left side. Top of the key to Gray. Gray. Scully. To Cynical, knocked away by Bigfork, and they got called for the foul. Number 11, Emma Barrett on the foul. That's her first and third team foul. She wasn't even dribbling across the key. I'm not sure why she's shooting to, but she's getting to shoot. First one by Cynical is up and good. McAnally returning for Bigfork. Emma Miller in for Powell County. Second shot up and good. Lane violation, no good. It's 10-7, Lady Wardens lead Bigfork. Inbound, Meredith. Over to Santa Stephen in the front court. Top of the key by Isabella. Feeds it over to McAnally on the right side. Top of the key, Bedford. Edgerton passes it out. She's going to call for a traveling call. Asley Edgerton. They corrected the scoreboard. It's 7-5. I thought that was kind of odd. Bigfork leads Powell County with 1:15 to go here in the first quarter. Gray, Senecal, Scully on the right side. Scully looking to drive down. Feeds it out to Gray, top of the key. Gray feeds it over to Senecal on the left side. Senecal back to Scully, 3-point range. Guarded by Bedford, over to Gray, back to Senecal. Senecal tipped away and taken away by Bedford. Nice job by Meredith. Feeds it out to McAnally. McAnally drives across the timeline. Finds Heidi Schneller wide open on the left side. She's looking to drive. Lip is off the rim and no good. And Schneller misses the layup. And Gray coming back for Powell County. Throws it away. Pass intended for Scully. And out of bounds by Powell County. 27.9 to go. 7-5. Valkyries lead on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Into Edgerton, across the timeline. Over to Santa Stephen, wide open look. Shoots up the three, off the front of the rim, and no good. Gray rebounding for Powell County, up and takes it up and off the rim. And they're going to call a blocking foul on McAnally. And the basket is good by Riley Gray, and she'll go to the line to shoot the N1 for Powell County as Maya Worth returns the lineup for the Lady Wardens, replacing Cameron Scully. And free throw on the way is good as Powell County takes the lead 8-7. Inbound, Edgerton, right side, feeds it to Bedford, nearly stolen away. Maya Worth comes up with a loose ball and hounded by, knocked away by by Edgerton. And that'll complete one quarter from Powell County High School here in Deer Lodge as the Lady Wardens lead the Bigfork Valkyries 8-7 on your Harvest Foods and Bigfork scoreboard. We'll be back to the second quarter from Deer Lodge, Montana momentarily. All right, welcome back to Deer Lodge, Montana. The Lady Wardens lead this ballgame 8-7 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. And second quarter action about to get underway, and Powell County with possession of the basketball to start the second quarter. Barrett, Bedford, Edgerton, McAnally, and Schneller in for Bigfork. Nicholson on the drive, throws it away. Knocked away by Bigfork and out of bounds. Powell County basketball as Gray will take it out. Gravely back in. Worth. And they'll call a blocking foul on Heidi Schneller at the top of the key as she tries to get it away from Worth. That's her second 15 foul. And number 14 for Bigfork will come in. Audrey Benz did a nice job the other night against Troy, did Audrey. And Gray will take it out for Powell County. try to fix the time on the scoreboard. Showed 74.5 seconds. That's an awful long quarter. I don't think the girls can hold up to that. Now it's 15 minutes. He needs to fix the clock here momentarily. Should be probably about 7:45 to go. He just needs to fix it. He's got 74.5 instead of 7:45 to go. The quarter just got underway. There you go. Got it fixed. 8-7 on the Harvest Food scoreboard. Lady Wardens lead the Valkyries. And Gray will take it out for Powell County. Inbound to Scully for Powell County. Guarded by Barrett. And Benz drives to the left side. Out to Gray. Gray on the drive. Feeds it to Nicholson. Nicholson three-point shot on the way. And it's good by Nicholson. Inbound to Bedford. Audrey Benz. Feeds it to Bedford. Bedford over to the right side of Barrett. Barrett finds Edgerton. Edgerton on the left side looking to drive. Throws it up off the rim and no good. And Riley Gray will come up the rebound. Throws it down to Scully. Scully up the lane. Throws it off the backboard. And good on the left hand. 11-7. Get me check that. 13-7. Valkyries trail inbound. Bedford back to McAnally. McAnally across the timeline. Throws over to Bedford on the right side underneath. Edgerton off the backboard and good. 2 points for Edgerton. 13-9 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Riley Gray in the backcourt. Throws it up to Scully. Nicholson. Bullet pass to Gravely. And she'll be fouled underneath. By number 10. Meredith Bedford, that is her second 16 foul. Gravely will go to the line and get 2 shots for Powell County with 6:42 to go here till halftime. First shot is up and good. Santa Stephen returning will come back in the ballgame for Bigfork, replacing Edgerton. And Gravely will get 1 more for Powell County. Shot up on the way is good. 15-9, the Lady Wardens lead. As Lamb will replace Gravely. And the Vikings trail by, Valkyries trail by 6, 15-9. Barrett. Barrett tries to drive up, a blocking call called on Alyssa Lamb. That is her second and 16 foul. And Santa Stephen will take it out of bounds on the near side in the front court. Into Benz. Benz left side of the wing. Will take it out towards the top of the key. Feeds it to McAnally. Nearly thrown away. McAnally recovers. Feeds it over to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive. Throws it up off the backboard and no good. Does Emma Barrett. Little off balance shot. Stolen away by McAnally. McAnally looking to drive it all the way. And turnover to Worth. Worth feeds it up to Nicholson. Nicholson looking underneath. Finds Gray over to Scully. Back out to Nicholson. Nicholson thought about the 3-point. Feeds it out to Worth, top of the key. And an over and back violation called on Powell County. And it'll be Bigfork basketball. And Jordan Seneca will return to the lineup for the Lady Wardens. 5:55 to go to halftime. 15-9, the Valkyries trail the Lady Wardens on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Inbound, Emma Barrett, top of the key. Over to Santa Stephen. Out to Barrett. Barrett over to Bedford, left side. Over to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen fakes the 3, looks to drive. Feeds it out to Bedford on the left side of the left wing. And Bigfork will take a timeout here. A 30-second timeout called by the Valkyries as the Valkyries trail 15-9 with 5:31 to go to halftime on your Harvest Foods, the Bigfork scoreboard. James LaFontaine with you, 406-270-7384. The voice of the Vikes, the Vals. Let me know, text me that you're listening. Kim Coleman said she's listening out there. Go Vals. So Bigfork will get the basketball in the front court as Barrett will take it out of bounds. Feeds it into Bedford. Bedford drives the left hand in the corner to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive with the left hand. Feeds it out to Bedford. Bedford. Dribble drive. Top of the key. Left hand. Feeds it out to Edgerton. Trying to get Edgerton open for a shot. Back to Bedford in the corner. Bedford trapped in the corner. Feeds it over and throws it away out of bounds on the far side. And turnover by the Valkyries to Powell County. 5:07 to go to halftime. Gray inbounding. Looking for Nicholson. Finds Senecal. Back to Gray. To Senecal. Senecal dribbles it up. Gives it to Scully. Scully on the left-handed drive is good for Powell County. 17-9 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. McAnally throws it right to Scully. Over to Senecal, off the backboard, and good. 19-9, down by 10 of the Valkyries. Up court, Edgerton to Bedford. Over to Benz in the far left corner. Feeds it out to Bedford. Bedford. Edgerton, shot on the way is good. Worth two, just inside the three-point line. 19-11 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Nicholson to Gray, back to Nicholson in the front court. Guarded by Edgerton. Nicholson drives, stolen by McAnally. And number 3 is called for the foul, Alyssa Lamb. That is her 3rd and 7th team foul. And Gravely will come back in for Powell County. McAnally, who got the rebound, was fouled, will go to the line to shoot a 1-on-1 for Bigfork. First shot off the rim and no good. Edgerton fighting for it with Worth. Worth comes up with it. Gray has the basketball up to Scully. And off the foot of Barrett, it'll remain Powell County basketball. And Santa Stephen will come in replacing McAnally with 4:12 to go here to halftime. And the Valkyries trailing 19-11 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Inbound to Scully. Scully brings it across, guarded by Barrett. Knocked away by Bigfork. And off of Powell County, it'll be Bigfork basketball on the turnover. With 4:04 to go here till halftime. Inbound. Barrett on the left side. Feeds it up to Bedford. Bedford shot on the way off the rim and no good. And Scully comes up the rebound. Feeds it back to Gray. Gray. Scully across the timeline. Over to Senecal. Senecal. Scully falls on the ground. Throws it out to Worth. Worth, three-point shot on the way. Off the rim. And Senecal comes with the rebound. Throws it off the rim. No good. And Bigfork fighting for it with Scully and Barrett. And it'll be a held ball. And the arrow points towards Bigfork. With 3:37 to go here till halftime. McAnally back in the ball game replacing Barrett. Santa Stephen inbounds it to Bedford. Bedford will bring it across the timeline. Over to Benz on the right side and the right wing. Looks over Santa Stephen on the left side, top of the key. Over to Bedford, right side wing shot on the way, three-pointer, no good, in and out. And Gravely gives it out to Gray. Off the top of the key to Scully. And Gray hits the deck. Over to Worth on the left side. Out to Nicholson, stolen away by Edgerton. Edgerton trying to dribble it up. And they're going to call a foul as Ansley trying to go up and get a shot off is fouled. That's the 18th foul, and that's the second foul on number 40, Cameron Scully. And timeout will be called. 30-second timeout called by Powell County with 2:59 to go here till halftime. And the Valkyries trailing 19-11 on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. So 1-on-1 situation for Edgerton. She'll step to the line for Bigfork to shoot that 1-on-1. As it's Bedford, Benz, McAnally, Santa Stephen, and Edgerton in the lineup for Bigfork, and a 1-on-1 situation for Ansley Edgerton. Shot up off the rim and no good. Gravely with the rebound. Nicholson driving up the left side, guarded by Benz. Tries to go all the way to Keats. Kicks it over to Senecal. Out to Gravely. Over to Scully. 3-point shot on the way by Worth. Rebounded by Santa Stephen. And she'll dribble up the court for Bigfork with 2:39 to go in the first half. Over to McAnally. Benz on the left side, feeds it out to Santa Stephen. Over to McAnally, feeds it into Bedford. Bedford on the right corner. Out to McAnally on the right wing. Benz, left side. Looking for Edgerton underneath. Santa Stephen over to McAnally. In the right corner, Bedford. Looking to Santa Stephen, got to take that up. And they're going to call the held ball. And turnover to the arrow points towards Powell County with 2:12 to go here to halftime. And Emma Barrett will replace Audrey Benz for Bigfork. I know Bigfork's missing Rakaya Grindy, also Jordan Nelson. Hopefully they get healthy and get back. Santa Stevens still away the pass to Jennifer Nicholson. And she'll dribble in the backcourt, feeds it over to McAnally, right side. In the corner, Bedford. Bedford looking underneath. Finds Edgerton, shot up off the rim, but no good. But Edgerton will go to the line and shoot two. That'll be the 9th team foul on Powell County. And Edgerton will get two. That is the first foul on Jordan Senecal. First shot on the way by Edgerton is good. And number 14, Riley Gray, will come back in for Jesse Gravely for Powell County. 19-12, 1:55 to go to halftime. Second shot by Edgerton is up. Off the back of the rim and no good. But McAnally comes to the rebound off the rim, left-handed and no good. And Senecal comes up the rebound. Gray dribbling up the court, bothered by Barrett in the corner to Worth. Worth on the drive, kicks it out. Taken away by Emma Barrett. Barrett looking. Passes to McAnally. McAnally over to Edgerton. Edgerton looking to drive. Should have been a held ball. And Riley Gray dribbles it up, is fouled on a blocking call. And a one-on-one situation for, as a third foul, 7th team foul. That's the third foul on Bedford. And 7th team foul at the line, shooting 1-on-1, Riley Gray for Powell County, as Audrey Benz returns for Bigfork. Off the rim and no good. And Scully comes up with the rebound, feeds it up to Nicholson, over to Gray. Scully in the corner, 3-point shot on the way, off the top of the backboard and no good. And Nicholson throws it up. McAnally comes up with the rebound for Bigfork. Gonna get it way out. Barrett looking to drive and dish it. Crossover up, no good by Barrett. And we'll check the foul here momentarily. Looks like it's on Bigfork. It'll be on number 11, Emma Barrett. That's her second. And 8th team foul on the Valkyries. Maya Worth will go to the line, shooting 1-on-1 for Powell County, as the Valkyries trail 19-12 with 1:05 to go here in the first half. First shot up, off the rim, no good. Benz comes up with the rebound, up the right side, feeds underneath to Barrett. Barrett up and shoots, but it's going to call it on the floor or on the ground, and Barrett will go to the line to shoot two. As they're in the double bonus, that foul's on number 40, Cameron Scully, her 3rd and 10th team foul. And Emma Barrett will go to the line and shoot two for Bigfork. So 1:01 to go here till halftime. Valkyries trailing by 7. First shot up off the rim and no good. And Emma Miller will check back in for Powell County, replacing Cameron Scully. Barrett will get one more. Shot up off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Wirt. Stolen away as pass to Senecal. Stolen by. And Nicholson will race away with the steal. Up off the rim and good. Off the backboard. Inbounded. Up to Edgerton from McAnally, and Edgerton trying to dribble it. Handing the ball, travels with it, and it will be Powell County basketball as Gray will inbound it to Nicholson. Nicholson in the backcourt. Over to Senecal. Senecal across the timeline. Throws it in the corner to Miller. Miller out to Riley Gray, and Riley Gray with the illegal dribble. And turnover to Bigfork with 31.6 to go and trailing 21-12 on the Harvest Food scoreboard. Benz, Emma Barrett over to McAnally. Out to Benz, over to three-point shot on the way by Santa Stephen is no good. And Barrett gets the rebound, and off of Gray, it'll be Bigfork basketball. 14.4 to go here till halftime. Gravely checks back in for Powell County. And Worth will sit down. Benz inbound, McAnally right through the middle of the lane. Perfect pass from Audrey Benz to McAnally. McAnally fouled as she goes for the shot. And she'll go to the free throw line and get two shots. That'll be first foul on Emma Miller, and two shots for McAnally. First shot on the way, off the rim, and in and out, no good. And Maya Worth will return to replace Gravely for Powell County with 13.4 till halftime. McAnally, one more shot. Second shot on the way, off the back of the rim, and no good, but Barrett right there gets the rebound, feeds it out, and a held ball is called, and the arrow points toward Bigfork. Benz will inbound for Bigfork. Kicks it out to Santa Stephen, three-point shot at the top of the key, off the rim, and no good, bounced around. Miller take it away, and Worth will come up with the rebound, feeds it to Gravely. Looked like Gravely traveled there, and Edgerton knocks it away as it's intended for Jordan Senecal. Well, your halftime score is the Powell County Lady Wardens 21, your Bigfork Valkyries 12 on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. I'll try to get your halftime stats and be back with those momentarily from Deer Lodge, Montana. Well, welcome back to Deer Lodge High School. Powell County Lady Wardens leading the Bigfork Valkyries 21-12 at halftime. Try to get your halftime stats, but I have a different person over there, so it's kind of hard getting your stats. We'll be back here in about 3 minutes, and we'll have the tip-off of the second half as the Valkyries trail 21-12. Well, welcome back to Deer Lodge High School. Halftime, second half. Yeah, between the Valkyries and the Powell County Lady Wardens, as the Valkyries trail 21-12 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Trying to get some stats here. Got somebody else doing the scorebook. Trying to get her to take a picture of the So it'll be Powell County's basketball to start the second half. Same starters for Bigfork. Barrett, McAnally, Schneller, Bedford, and Edgerton. Knocked away. Edgerton comes up with it. And Barrett in the front court, going to dribble all the way. I can see a crossover coming. Takes it in the right corner, brings it out top. Feeds it over to Bedford. Bedford over to Barrett on the right side. To McAnally, left side. And she can't come up with it, so she travels on the plate. And Gray with the basketball. Powell County with the basketball in the front court. Nicholson back out to Lamb. Lamb over to Scully. In the corner to Lamb. Tries to throw it off of McAnally, then off of Alyssa Lamb and out of bounds. It'll be Bigfork basketball on the near side of the backcourt. And Barrett will inbound to Bedford. Bedford back to Barrett. Barrett dribbles it across the timeline. Feeds it up to Schneller. Schneller on the left side. Looking underneath. Feeds it out. Top of the key, Bedford. Bedford over to McAnally on the right side. Bullet pass to Barrett. Barrett shot up, blocked by Gravely. And they're going to call a legal dribble on Emma Barrett. And Nicholson will drive all the way off the knee of Edgerton. They're going to call a kick ball on Bigfork. It'll be Powell County's basketball underneath. Scully to take it out of bounds. Looking to throw it in. And the whistle blows. And they're going to call a foul on 24, Ansley Edgerton, her first team foul on the inbounds. Feeding to Gravely. Bedford knocks it away. Gray comes up with it right side in the corner to Nicholson. Nicholson three-point shot off the rim and no good. Scully comes up the loose ball. Gravely with the basketball. Knocked away by McAnally. And Schneller with the basketball, driving up, looking to drive all the way. Feeds Bedford. Bedford left-handed shot is no good. And she'll come up with the loose ball. Edgerton. Shot on the way, off the rim, in and out, no good. And Barrett grabs the rebound and fights with Gravely. And it'll remain Bigfork basketball underneath as they tie it up. And Seneca will return for Powell County. 5:58 to go here in the third quarter. No scoring yet. 21-12. Inbound to Edgerton. Edgerton looking to drive. Shot up off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Gravely. Up to Nicholson. Nicholson driving. Poked away by Heidi Schneller. And they're going to call Schneller for the foul from behind. Second team foul on Bigfork and the third on Schneller as Santa Stephen replaces Bedford with 5:47 to go. 21-12. Inbounded to Nicholson. Nicholson can't handle it, out of bounds. It'll be Bigfork basketball in the backcourt. Santa Stephen into Barrett. Up to Santa Stephen. Trapped in the backcourt. Gives it over to Schneller. Schneller underneath. Looks and finds Edgerton. Edgerton's shot up and no good. Off the rim. Gray gets it out to Nicholson in the front court right side. Back out to Gray at the top of the key. Senecal, left side on the wing. Out to Gray, top of the key. Over to Senecal, left side. Gray, the top. Over to Nicholson on the right side. Scully in the right corner. Looking for Gravely underneath, feeds it out to Nicholson. Nicholson guarded by Schneller. Schneller. Nicholson goes by, off of Gravely. Knocked away, out of bounds, off of Edgerton. It'll remain Powell County basketball with 4:59 to go here in the third quarter. And Audrey then checking back in for Bigfork, replacing Ansley Edgerton, and Alyssa Lamb replacing Gravely for Powell County. Out to Lamb. To Gray. Senecal on the drive, throws it up and in for two. 23-12, Valkyries trail. Up to Schneller, to Benz. Benz trapped, gives it to McAnally. McAnally underneath to Barrett. Barrett off the backboard and good for two on the layup by Barrett. 23-14. Here comes Nicholson all the way down the court. And that player control foul as Ashton McAnally was set underneath. And Nicholson just drives it right in and passes it, but runs over McAnally. So player control foul. It's her third and first team foul. Into Santa Stephen, back to McAnally. McAnally over to Schneller on the left side. Schneller looking to drive. Gives it to Barrett. Barrett up and under. Shoots it short, no good, but Schneller comes up with a loose ball on the rebound. And Schneller will drive in off the glass and no good. And a blocking foul on Powell County. And Schneller as Alyssa Lamb picks up her second team foul. And Schneller went to the line to shoot two on that. And Lamb goes off the court, sits down. She can't do that. still live with 2 shots. She has to wait for 1 shot to go off. So 4:15 to go here in the third quarter, and Lady Wardens lead 23-14 over your Bigfork Valkyries on the Hartford's Food of Bigfork scoreboard. At halftime, it was Bedford with 2. 2 for Schneller. Edgerton with 8 for Bigfork. 7 in the first, 5 in the second, and a total of 12 at halftime. And Schneller will to the line to shoot 2 for Bigfork. First shot is up and good for Bigfork. 23-15. And second shot is good. In the front court, Senecal, top of the key, looks to drive, but takes a step before dribbling. 23-16, the Valkyries within 7. Here in the third quarter, 4:02 on your Harvest Food scoreboard, trailing 23-16. Barrett, top of the key, feeds it over to Schneller, left side. Schneller looking to drive. Feeds it out to Audrey Benz, out of bounds. Saved by and stolen away by Bedford, by Schneller, and Barrett goes up, and they're going to call a held ball. This time it goes to Powell County. And 3:43 to go here in the third quarter. Inbound to Nicholson in the backcourt. Nicholson looking to throw full court. Barrett, like a safety back there, breaks it up, gives it to McAnally. McAnally, front court, feeds it over to Benz. Benz looking, finds Santa Stephen off her hands, and Scully comes up with it for Powell County. Gives it over to Gray. Gray, guarded by Santa Stephen. Feeds it up to Nicholson. Nicholson looking to drive. Misses the layup, and Benz comes up with the rebound for Bigfork. And she'll bring it across the timeline for the Valkyries. Benz over to McAnally on the right wing. In the corner to Emma Barrett. Barrett out to Schneller. Schneller looking to drive off the backboard, too hard and no good. And Nicholson comes up with the rebound. She's going to take off and drive, or try to drive all the way. Barrett cuts her off and fed to the top of the key by Worth. Worth's three-point shot is good for Powell County, 26-16. 2:45 to go here in the third quarter. And Schneller brings it across the timeline. In the corner, left corner to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive. Out to Heidi Schneller, left wing. Top of the key to Benz. Benz looking for McAnally. Over to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen drives. Kicks it out. Gives it to Schneller. And off Schneller's leg, a turnover by Bigfork. It'll be Powell County basketball as Ansley Edgerton replaces Isabella Santa Stephen, and Meredith Bedford will come back in for McAnally with 2:22 to go here in the third quarter. Gray with the basketball, feeds it out to Worth. Worth shot from three-point land, no good. Rebounded by Schneller. Schneller right side of the front court. Guarded by Senecal. Drives it in the corner, feeds it out to Bedford. Bedford right in the right wing. Looking underneath. Barrett is wide open underneath. Schneller feeds it out, stolen away by Scully. And Benz comes from behind to knock it away, but it's going to foul Cameron Scully. And the foul is on number 14, Audrey Benz. Her first and the third team foul. That'll be Powell County's basketball underneath as Scully takes it out of bounds. Feeds it into Gray. Gray dribbles over, gives it to Worth. Worth double. I don't want to say double dribble, illegal dribble as a call on Worth has tried to pick it up and pass it. Unable to. 1:44 to go here in the third quarter, 26-16. The Valkyries trail by 10. Schneller Bedford, Edgerton. And there's a foul, whistle blown underneath on Powell County. As Gravely returned for Powell County, and that is the 4th foul on Rachel Nicholson and the 3rd team foul on the Lady Wardens. Schneller inbounded right to Edgerton at the front of the rim and up and good by Ansley Edgerton, 26-18, 1:30 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Gray over to Senecal, to Worth, to Scully. Knocked away from Senecal by Benz, and remain Powell County basketball here on the near side of the front court, 1:17 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Inbounded, Senecal, guarded by Benz, top of the key. Goes to the left side, cut off by Edgerton, and Gravely gets the basketball underneath, feeds it out to Scully. Scully's 3-point shot on the way is good, 29-18. Schneller quickly up the court, right side. Feeds it over to Benz. Benz underneath to Bedford. Bedford shot, top of the key, no good. Gravely comes up with the rebound, feeds it out to Senecal. Senecal drives right side, guarded by Benz. Over to Scully. Scully to Worth. Worth, 3-point shot on the way. No good, and Schneller comes up with the rebound, dribbling up the right side is Heidi Schneller. It's going to cut it in. And a blocking foul as Riley Gray moves in as she's moving her feet as Schneller tries to drive it in, and Schneller will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Valkyries. 29.7 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Valkyries trailing by 11, 29-18 on your Harvest Foods, a Bigfork scoreboard. First free throw up off the back of the rim, and no good for Schneller. Santa Stephen will come back in, replacing Benz, and Emma Miller in the ball game, replacing Riley Gray. One more for Schneller, off the back of the rim and no good. Rebounded by Emma Miller. Gives it up to Worth. Worth top of the key, across the timeline. Trying to drive Senecal, the basketball. Over to Scully, over to Miller. Miller's shot on the way from 2-point range is good from the left side. And 15 seconds to go, 31-18. The Valkyries trail with 11 seconds to go. Barrett's baseline shot off the rim and no good, but she runs down her own miss. And she's going to feed it over to Edgerton. Edgerton, 3-point shot on the way, off the rim and no good. And that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. And the Lady Wardens stretch the lead to 31-18, up by 13 on your Harvest Foods of Bigfork scoreboard from as the Powell County Wardens lead the Bigfork Valkyries. So your halftime got the scores late, brought to you by His Biz. His Biz specializes in paint and renovate of exterior and interior of both residential and commercial projects. Also does snow removal. Contact His Biz at www.hisbiz.us or 270-1998. Hoagie Hogan will help you out there, can remove some snow. For halftime for Powell County, it was Jordan Senecal with 4, 2 by Jessie Gravely, 2 by Emma Miller, 5 by Nicholson, 3 by Riley Gray, and 6 by Cameron Scully. And for the Valkyries again, it was Bedford with 2 on 2-for-2 free throws, Schneller with 2, 6, 8 for Edgerton, and the 4th quarter is underway with Bigfork getting the basketball. Thank you to His Biz and Hoagie Hogan. Isabel Stevens, top of the key for Bigfork. Taylor Martin's in the ball game, feeds Bedford. Bedford baseline jumper off the rim and no good. McAnally gets the rebound, puts it up off the rim and no good. But she'll go to the free throw line and shoot a couple free throws as McAnally hustling to get that rebound and put it back up for Bigfork. 2 for Ashton. Shot up and rims in and out by McAnally. No good. She'll get one more from the charity stripe. Up and nothing but the bottom of the net. 31-19, 7:42 to go in this ball game from Deer Lodge, Montana. Worth with the basketball. Feeds it over to Miller. Miller right side, the right wing, out to the top of the key. Senecal over to Scully. Over to Worth in the left corner. Guarded by Martins. Out to Miller. Guarded by McAnally. Backdoor cut by Miller, but rebounded there by Emma Barrett. And Barrett will dribble up the left side. Looking to drive it all the way in. She finds Isabella Steven left corner. She brings it out to the top of the key. Over to McAnally on the right side. Over to Barrett. Barrett looking to drive, shoot. Off the back of the rim and no good. And knocked out of bounds. Off of Bedford. It'll be Powell County basketball as Riley Gray returns, replacing Cameron Scully for Powell County. And 2 of Powell County run into each other. Senecal and Miller, and which causes the travel. And it'll be Bigfork basketball in the front court and near the bench. Emma Barrett will take it out, feeds it into Bedford. And Bedford tries to force it into Martins. Turnover to Gray, feeds it out to Worth. Worth three-point shot on the way, in and out, no good. Run down by Santa Stephen, feeds it up to Barrett. Barrett looking to run up the court, cross in the front court, over to McAnally. McAnally, far side, feeds Bedford. Bedford shot up off the rim and no good, but Barrett is right there, puts it back up off the backboard and good for 2, 31-21 with 6:20 to go here in this ball game. Inbound to Barrett, to Worth, back to Gray. Gray dribbles across, tries to drive in, feeds it out to Miller. Miller, three-point shot over the rim and no good. Santa Stephen comes up with the rebound for Bigfork, pushes it up the court. Does Santa Stephen, looking for Bedford. Bedford, three-point shot in the corner. Barrett, three-point shot on the way, in and out. And Martins hustles for it, knocks it off Gravely. It'll remain Bigfork basketball with 5:52 to go here in the ball game. Miller comes out. Inbound, Heidi Schneller. Over to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen left side. Looking to shoot, feeds it out. Schneller looking to drive, feeds it over to Santa Stephen. Three-point shot by Santa Stephen. Off the rim and no good, but McAnally comes up with a rebound for Bigfork. Feeds it out to Schneller. Just got to keep shooting, girls. And Worth comes up and checks. Almost a hockey check there. Heidi Schneller, and Schneller falls down on the play. It'll be Bigfork basketball as that is the first foul on 21, Maya Worth, and 16th foul. Up and under, falls in as Schneller feeds McAnally. McAnally gets it up off the rim and drops it. 31-23, 5:27, and McAnally to go to the line to shoot the N1, and that is the second foul on Riley Gray. 17th foul. And McAnally at the line to shoot the N1. Nicholson returning to the ball game. Run down by Santa Stephen. Good hustle by Bigfork. Santa Stephen's three-point shot off the rim and no good. Nicholson comes up with the rebound. And pressure there by Heidi Schneller as Nicholson tries to get it to Scully and she throws it out of bounds. Over by the bench on the far side, it'll be Barrett inbounding for Bigfork on the turnover. Inbounds to Schneller. Bigfork playing a little more aggressively here into Martins. Martins looking. Puts it up off the rim and no good. McAnally right there trying to get it. And she grabs it away and rips it away. Gives it to Barrett. Barrett tries to throw it up. Oh, she scores it! A circus shot by Emma Barrett as she's fallen down and gets pushed and puts it in the bucket. 31-25 with 5:03 to go here in the ballgame. Barrett will get to shoot the and one. Three-point play the old-fashioned way. She'll try to get it. And her free throw is up. And nothing but the bottom of the net. 31-26. The Valkyries would pull within 5. Senecal dribbling all the way up the court. Kicks it out to Scully. Over to Nicholson on the drive. And she'll head to the free throw line, and she's fouled. Girls just need to step in there and take that charging call. She's coming in hard and all the way, and Rachel Nicholson will go to the line to shoot 2. That is the first foul on Santa Stephen, and the 14th foul. First shot up and good by Nicholson. 32-26, 4:55 to go, and the Valkyries trailing by 6 on the Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. Nicholson, one more shot for Powell County. Shot is up and is good. 33-26 into McAnally. McAnally finds Barrett. Barrett across the front, into the front court. Out to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen looking to drive. Kicks it out to McAnally. McAnally on the drive, and she's off to the races before dribbling the basketball, and she's going to get a call for a traveling violation. Turnover with 4:45 to go. Powell County. Gray inbounding to Scully. Scully brings it across the timeline. Gravely is going to be called for the moving screen. A player control foul on number 4, Jessie Gravely. She moves in, and you can't do that. That is her 3rd, 9th team foul. Player control, they don't shoot free throws. Barrett from 3-point range, off the rim and no good. Gravely comes up with the rebound, gives it back to Gray for Powell County. Shot just short by Barrett. Great. Rebounding. Another screen by Gravely. Nicholson over to the left side to Scully. Scully looking to drive. And stolen away by Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen looking to drive. Little crossover. Spin move up and in by Isabella Santa Stephen. 33-28, 4:03 to go. Gray with the basketball. Guarded by Barrett. Over to Senecal. Valkyries stepping up their defense. Guarded by Santa Stephen. Over to Scully. In the left corner to Gravely. Gravely. She can't hold her feet and she travels. So a turnover to Bigfork, trailing by 5 with 3:44 to go. 33-28 on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. In the front court comes Schneller. Schneller finds Santa Stevens, top of the key. Santa Stephen looking over to Barrett on the right side. Barrett finds Schneller. Schneller looking to drive up and short, but Santa Stephen will grab it on the baseline and dribbles on the baseline, and turnover by Bigfork. Inbound to Nixon. Nixon looking to drive all the way. Someone's just got to set their feet and take that charge. Nicholson stops and shoots a three-pointer, and Gravely battling underneath. Gravely's down on the ground, and McAnally will bring it into front court. Over to Schneller. Schneller on the left side, and timeout will be called by Bigfork. With 3:04, a full timeout called by the Valkyries. 3:04 left to go in this ball game, and the Valkyries within 5, trailing 33-28 on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. James LaFontaine with you, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals from Deer Lodge, Montana. We'll be back with the rest of the fourth quarter momentarily from Deer Lodge, Montana. All right, welcome back to Deer Lodge, Montana. Valkyries basketball on the far side, inbounded to Schneller. Schneller will take it to the top of the key, looking to drive. Brings it back out, finds Edgerton. Edgerton looking, kicks it out to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen on the drive, out to Schneller. Schneller, top of the key. Trying to find Edgerton underneath. Barrett. Pump fakes, drives off the backboard, good for two by Emma Barrett, 33-30. The Valkyries within three. Nicholson with the basketball. The illegal dribble as Nicholson tries to stop. And the old double dribble used to be, it's called a illegal dribble. Inbounded to Barrett. Schneller top of the key over to Santa Stephen on the right side. Barrett in the corner looking to drive off the backboard, good. Barrett owns that baseline, 33-32, 2:23 to go here in the ball game. Gray with the basketball, guarded by Barrett. Over to Senecal. Senecal looking to drive on Santa Stephen. Out to Scully. Scully's shot, no good. Barrett with the rebound. Up the court. Across the timeline, Barrett, top of the key, looking. Finds Edgerton, three-point shot on the way at the backboard and no good by Edgerton. And Gray goes down, falls down. Late whistle, they call a foul on Heidi Schneller, her fourth. And Schneller is just holding her ground, and looks like she just slipped and fell, but they bailed him out. Inbound to Senecal. Senecal, take it up the timeline. Throws it up off the backboard, no good. And rebounded, put back up by Alyssa Lamb as Powell County scores. And they'll get to go to the free throw line to shoot the and one with 1:51 to go here on your Harvest Food scoreboard. 35-32, Powell County leads the Valkyries. Lamb to the line to shoot one. Shot up and good. 36-32, inbound to Schneller. Schneller will come to the top of the key. Edgerton looking over to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen can bust out a three. Schneller on the left side. Feeds it to Barrett. Barrett in the corner. Looks up, throws it up off the backboard. And knocked out of bounds by Edgerton. It'll be Powell County basketball as the Valkyries trail by 4 with 1:31 to go. Inbounded Nicholson. Nicholson can't handle it. Dribbles it on the sideline, out of bounds. It'll be Bigfork basketball with 1:29 to go. And Barrett inbounds to Schneller. Schneller on the right side. Up and under. And they're going to get Schneller with the traveling call. 1:24 to go, trailing by 4, 36-32. Inbound to Senecal. Senecal driving all the way. Throws it off the backboard, no good. And Santa Stephen will come up with it. Feeds it over to McAnally. McAnally in the front court. On the left side, feeds it to Santa Stephen. Santa Stephen, three-point shot on the way. Oh, he could just come up with one of those, the Valkyries. Scully comes up with it, but a timeout will be called. A 30-second timeout will be called by Powell County with 1:02 to go here in the ball game. And 36-32 as the Lady Wardens lead the Valkyries on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. Shout out, Kim Coleman, I know you're listening. Anybody else? 406-270-7384. Text me, let me know. As the Valkyries have come back and played some staunch defense and really hustled here in the fourth quarter to get back in this ball game. James LaFontaine with you, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals from Deer Lodge High School. And that 30-second timeout is just about over. Bigfork has 3 timeouts left. Powell County only 1. If they could just get one of those three-point shots to drop, put them right back in the ball game, but Powell County will take it out of bounds. Gray feeds to Nicholson. Nicholson trapped in the corner. Nearly stolen by Santa Stephen and knocked out of bounds. And Powell County will have to inbounds again, 90 feet from their basket. Gray gets it in Nicholson. Nicholson Knocked away by Santa Stephen. Nicholson all the way. It's going to drive. Feeds it to Lamb. Short. No good. No good. They're going to call the foul on the ground. And that foul is going to be on McAnally, her second. And that's the 7th team foul. So Alyssa Lamb will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1 for Powell County. The Valkyries got to box out and hope to get the rebound. 52.4 to go in the ball game. Nice job by Santa Stephen. Looks like Isabella was knocked down, and they're going to call a traveling violation on Isabella, and Bedford will come back in, and Powell County will get it underneath as Scully will take it out of bounds with 50.2. She's moving her feet. That's a traveling violation. Sorry, folks. And Lamb puts it up, no good. Edgerton with the basketball. Gets it up to Bedford. Bedford out to McAnally, right side, back to Bedford. Bedford's three-point shot and away, off the rim and no good. Barrett right there with the rebound, puts it up, Edgerton, and it'll be a held ball, and it'll be Powell County's basketball with 33.5 to go. And Bedford replaced by Isabella Santa Stephen. 33.5, trailing 36-32. Into Nicholson. Nicholson up the left side. He's going to get trapped by Bigfork. Nearly stolen by Barrett. Out to Gray. Gray looking to drive. Barrett's right there. They got a foul, put him at the line. And they finally, she knocks the ball away, and Barrett will be called for the foul, and they'll be shooting a 1-on-1. It's the 8th team foul. And that is Barrett's 4th. And like I said, the 18th foul, 17.5 to go in the ball game. And the Valkyries trailing by 4. Got to box out, get the rebound. A 1-on-1 opportunity for Powell County. First shot up and good by Gray. I think Bigfork waited a little bit too long to get that foul. Gonna hope she misses. A 5-point ball game, so a 2-possession game. She makes it still a 2-possession game. 2 threes. Independent Santa Stevens. They got to get a shot up quickly. Do Bigfork. Feeds it, off of Barrett's hand. Edgerton tried to feed Barrett in the corner. She couldn't handle the pass, out of bounds. Inbound with 9.4. Emma Barrett grabs it. They didn't call a foul. They don't whistle it. Gray has the basketball over to Nicholson. Schneller knocks it out of bounds. So your final from Deer Lodge, it is the Powell County Lady Wardens 38, your Bigfork Valkyries 32. We'll be back in a couple minutes with your full game stats from Deer Lodge, Montana. Well, welcome back to Deer Lodge High School. As the final in this ball game, the post game brought to you by UPS store in Bigfork, 439 Grand Drive, 837-2002. If you're looking for something for printing, all your printing and shipping needs, contact Brad Stottshill and the UPS store in Bigfork and get your shipping and printing needs taken care of thanks to all of our sponsors, the Harvest Foods scoreboard, final 38-20-32. The Valkyries, a valiant effort trying to get back in the fourth quarter, but falls short as they couldn't overcome that double-digit deficit and fall 38-32 to the Powell County Lady Wardens here in Deer Lodge, Montana. Trying to get your full game stats. Maureen Hine should get those to me momentarily, and I'll give those up to you. Hey, don't forget, coming up next, it's Thursday. The Vikings are at home as they take on Thompson Falls, the Blue Hawks, on Thursday. Friday, it's the Lady Blue Hawks coming to town to take on the Valkyries. And on Saturday, it's a doubleheader, a tripleheader with Florence. So your final stats for Bigfork: 32 points, 2 from Meredith Bedford, 8 by Emma Barrett, 7 by Heidi Schneller. Ansley Edgerton led the way with 10, 2 by Isabel San Esteban, and 3 by Ashton McAnally for a total of 32. At the free throw line, 8 of 22, listen, 14 free throws. 14 free throws, they make half of those. They're right in the ball game and have a chance to win, so coach maybe need to work on free throws the next practice before they play next week. Once again, thanks for joining me today here from Deer Lodge. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals from Deer Lodge, Montana. Your final. It was the Powell County Lady Wardens 38, your Bigfork Valkyries 32. And thanks to my sponsors, His Biz, UPS Store, and Harvest Foods of Bigfork. We'll catch you next time here on Viking and Valkyrie basketball on BFSD events on YouTube. Thanks for joining us, and you guys have a great night wherever you are.